McLaren's unexpected boost for its Daniel Ricciardo replacement in F1. McLaren racing boss Zak Brown says his team is very confident about its driver lineup for 2023, despite the legal controversies they may face over hiring a replacement, so Daniel Ricciardo. While McLaren and Ricciardo confirmed on Wednesday that they had jointly agreed to an early termination of their partnership, Brown did not mention which driver is expected to replace the Australian driver, namely Junior's current Alpine Oscar Piastri. Earlier this month, at the start of F1 summer break, Piastri was appointed by Alpine as Fernando Alonso's successor for 2023. But the young shooter has dramatically refused to sign with Enstone, insisting he will not be playing for France in 2023. Instead, he is said to have signed a deal with McLaren, although neither the team nor the driver has confirmed this. Want to know about it in detail? Well, stay tuned till the end. Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we will talk about McLaren's unexpected boost for its Daniel Ricciardo replacement in F1. Meanwhile, subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon. That being done, let's start. Alpine goes on to claim that they have a valid contract with Piastri for 2023, which could potentially put the team in a legal collision with McLaren. But Brown, without naming Piastri or revealing any possible lawsuits related to the latter, hinted that McLaren will have the driver lineup it wants for 2023. We're very confident in our future, which we'll announce in due course, he told the media on Wednesday. We want to race this weekend and the rest of the year, so we felt it was important to make the announcement today. Brown highlights how McLaren's friendly split with Ricciardo has played out. It was a very friendly and harmonious relationship with Daniel. It was disappointing to end up this way, he said. But we think back to things like Monza, Ricciardo's victory in Italy in 2021, which was my most exciting personal moment during my time here at McLaren, being on the podium with me, Daniel and Lando. So yes, disappointing results, but we are very excited for the rest of the year, so is Daniel. And we'll announce our future in due course. Asked about the potential downsides of replacing a seasoned F1 veteran like Ricciardo with a rookie like Piastri, McLaren team boss Andreas Seidl declined to comment on that possibility. Honestly, I'm not interested in that comparison right now, he said. Today is about Daniel, and all weekend at the Spa will be about Daniel. We want to move forward. Daniel also wants to continue on the topic we announced today. And about the future, that's what we'll talk about later. Steiner frankly said McLaren shared the burden of Ricciardo's difficulties with the team. I think that's very important to say from my point of view, and I think from the team's side, there has been a huge commitment and a lot of effort has been made, said the German. The same thing happened with Daniel's side. Finally, we have to admit that we failed to work together despite all the commitments that were made from Daniel's side, from the team's side, and despite all the efforts that we all put together. Spent. It's not a result we didn't expect, but at the same time, it's important now to focus on the remaining 9 races together and give it all back as a team. Daniel will do the same and try to end our relationship on a high level, which is important because we're in close combat with Alpine vehicles. We want to be back in P4 in the Constructors' Championship. Ricciardo was never able to fully combine his natural driving style with the engineering needed to get the most out of McLaren's machinery. Aside from that special day and his win at Monza last September, Ricciardo remains unknown in the Formula One midfield, regularly trailing behind teammate Lando Norris. Daniel has said many times that he has never felt comfortable sitting in our car, especially when it comes to pushing the car to the absolute limit, said McLaren team manager Andreas Seidl said. That ultimately caused the difference in Lando's lap times. At the same time, we had the technology that told us that Lando is an outstanding racer, so he went up against one of them, the best riders in the paddock. That ultimately led us to the decision. He just ended up not being able to work. For a driver to be able to extract performance from the car is a whole team effort between the driver and the team. So I also want to make it clear that I take full responsibility for the team. Find the magic to figure out what percentages we've seen over time. Ricciardo has sincerely defended his desire to review the project with McLaren as recently as late July, but the text is already on the wall at this stage. AutoWeek understands that McLaren has begun seriously exploring options a few weeks in advance, knowing that things may not improve. It is believed Ricciardo has been told McLaren intends not to resume in 2023 after the Hungarian Grand Prix, before the summer break, with a deal finally being agreed upon during the break. I think he understands and accepts that we were not able to achieve the results he expected together, said McLaren CEO Zak Brown. He's been in motorsport his whole life, and he's just as frustrated as we are that it didn't work out. But it's all very friendly, he understands, and hopefully, he'll win a good race car next year, and we'll see Daniel regain the form we know he's capable of. I will look back with great memories and good times together. There is no malice between us. We can see him being a pain for us on the track, and we'll be glad he's a good competitor. Seidel added, "The respect I have for Daniel Ricciardo, as well as for the driver, has not changed. I still believe he is one of the best in this paddock. Finally, with him coming to the team 2.5 years ago, with all that he has brought to the team, with all his experience, it certainly helped us a lot to get to the end. Become the best team. I always appreciate his positivity and enthusiasm, and his help too. Helped me in difficult situations like the beginning of this season, where we had difficult moments before the first race. He never gives up and also keeps me in good shape for the team, keeps me motivated for the team, and is always consistent in not giving up. This is something that I will remember from him." As for Ricciardo, he admits that he has been working for some time to resolve issues that are preventing him from continuing his game. Ricciardo said of the situation, "We talked for several months. As a collective, it's how can we still make this work? I've given feedback, there's been a lot of dialogue, and I understand that's a concern. Because the results I got were not at the level we thought they might have been. We talked. I felt like talking for months about how to handle things. What's next? What's now? We hit a dead end when we felt we were most exhausted in terms of what was at hand at the time, and that's obviously when they made the decision. Alpine has now reached an agreement with McLaren to allow Piastri to drive for their new team at the Abu Dhabi tests. Teams can run 2 cars in the test, one to test Pirelli tires with a 2022 driver, and one for young racers running, with Piastri qualifying for the second. This made Piastri one of many drivers who changed teams to drive them in the test. This includes Pierre Gasly, who will be able to drive an Alpine tire test car. Alpine team principal Otmar Schaffnauer said now is the right time to finalize the deal and focus on preparing for 2023 with Gasly. We are delighted that Oscar can start his McLaren career after the last race in Abu Dhabi and do the test. We will do the same with Pierre. We will put Pierre on board in Abu Dhabi and curate the driver list to get his feedback and his first thoughts on our car and start to understand the things he likes and dislike. At the end of the day, it's been a good start for the Oscars for us. Pretty much for now. The most important thing is for the whole team to focus completely on these last 2 races this weekend with Daniel. We remain determined on both sides to try to end our chapter together on top. Before that, we'll be focusing entirely on Oscar and Lando as they re-prepared for next year's season. Current Alpine driver Fernando Alonso is also set to switch teams for the post-Abu Dhabi test and drive for Aston Martin. In terms of performance, it won't matter because the car will be very different next year for everyone, said Alonso. But in terms of comfort, seats, steering wheel, buttons, things that I might want to change and equip myself with, it would be nice to have a day in the car. So I have to hurry. So what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below. And that's all for the day, guys. If you found this video interesting, make sure to hit the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update from us. Thank you for watching. We'll see you at the next one.